What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Phoenix here, back with a brand new Marvel Spider-Man 2 informational video. And in today's video, I want to discuss how Black Cat's small role from Marvel Spider-Man can be elevated in Marvel Spider-Man 2. So without a doubt, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button down below. And without a doubt, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So this article is coming from Screen Rant, and it says Black Cat had a small role to play in Marvel Spider-Man, but she should return as a more prominent character in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Marvel Spider-Man gave Black Cat a fairly detailed backstory that points to her inclusion in future installments. She was also the focus of the first DLC, The Heist. However, she was always excluded from the story in Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, so it's unclear if she will have a role in the future installment, though including her would be the right choice. We already know for a fact that Peter's getting the black suit, and with the black suit story arc, we already know for a fact that wherever the black suit Spider-Man arc comes up, we know that Black Cat's going to be there. So it just honestly makes sense for her to be there. And on top of that, one more thing, if you look at Kraven's tablet, Black Cat is there in the tablet as well. So she is obviously making a return, and having her play such a big role, or having like her play like such a really good role would be well for the story, considering that Peter has the black suit, and that would make her attracted to Peter due to the fact that he has the black suit on. But following that, it says Peter's love life is constantly fluctuating, and even though he ends up with Mary Jane in Marvel Spider-Man, having Black Cat around more in the sequel may alter that. Due to her thieving nature, she is usually placed at odds with Spider-Man, though she tends to either flirt her way out of trouble or trick Spider-Man into letting her escape. Including Black Cat in Marvel Spider-Man 2 will likely introduce a new emotional story arc for Peter, whether it be his struggle to take her down or exploring his feelings for her in greater detail. Now, we already know for a fact that in Marvel Spider-Man, it's already alluded to that Peter and Black Cat had a history together. Along with that, if you guys go back and look at the comic that dropped from Marvel Spider-Man, they already have a history together. So it's more or less for a fact, like in this universe, Peter and Black Cat did go out at one point, and after that, Peter ended up with MJ. Now, following that, it says there are several possibilities for how Black Cat can be incorporated into Marvel Spider-Man 2. Along with being a romantic interest for Spider-Man, Black Cat may also play as one of the major villains of Marvel Spider-Man 2. Alternatively, she could team up with Spider-Man and lend her skill self save the city. If Marvel Spider-Man 2 introduces new playable characters, then fans even get to test out Black Cat's unique skill set for themselves. Regardless of how she is presented to players, Black Cat should be included in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, making Black Cat playable, since we already know for a fact that it seems like we are going to be playing as Peter, we are going to be playing as Miles, we are going to be playing as MJ, and possibly even Venom recently. I'm really not so sure about that, but having Black Cat playable would be very interesting. And it would give me a lot of vibes because, you know, in Arkham Knight, we did get to play Catwoman for certain sections, especially in that Riddler section. So what if there's a chance that we could do that with Black Cat here? We get to play her. Say at some point in the story, we get to see Black Cat and Spider-Man fight off some of Kraven's hunters. And with that, there could also be the fact that she could honestly help out fighting Tombstone as well, is what I'm guessing. Like, imagine like that fight from Arkham Knight where you have Batman and Catwoman and you have dual takedowns with them. Imagine if they make her playable and they add dual takedowns to it. That would be so heat, especially since we've already seen a glimpse of that in the City Never Sleeps DLC 1, which was the heist. Since we saw that, because you know, at that whole entire part where they're at that bar and you see Peter do like a dual takedown, you see Peter jump over, and you see Black Cat go in for the finishing move. That could work out well. Following that, it says Marvel Spider-Man briefly explores the past romance between Black Cat and Spider-Man, but there are clearly still feelings between the pair. Spider-Man is constantly nervous around Black Cat and even tries to hide his interactions with her from Mary Jane initially. Having Black Cat return in Marvel Spider-Man 2 could create an interesting dynamic, or at the very least, some strain on Peter's relationship with Mary Jane. In the Heist DLC for Marvel Spider-Man, Black Cat flirts with Spider-Man frequently and makes a few mentions about the two of them being together. Now, we do not know how their relationship went, because as we know, at some point, MJ did break up with Peter due to the fact that he was Spider-Man. And I think, I'm not sure if that happened in the comics for the game. I'm pretty sure someone let me know. But we do know for a fact that at some point in the game, Peter and Black Cat did have a thing and they did go out, if I'm not mistaken. So Peter having the black suit could create something very different, because we honestly already know, like I said before, wherever the black suit Spider-Man arc starts, you have Black Cat returning. So it is possible. But following that, it says Black Cat also tricks Spider-Man into believing they have a son in the DLC. Although the story about her son being kidnapped is a lie, it's still possible that Black Cat actually has a child. If parts of her lie were true, Marvel Spider-Man 2 could explore Peter's struggle with balancing the heroics with his love life and being a father. There was a mix of Spider-Man and Peter Parker storylines in Marvel Spider-Man, and the romantic or family possibility that Black Cat provides could help accomplish the same or better dynamic gameplay in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, for this, I would really love to see that, because we all know for a fact that, like Black Cat said in the DLC, that whole entire thing about her having a son was probably a lie. Now, seeing as that is possible, I 100% do want to see them interact more. With her being brought back and with the black suit being brought back, I do want to see, potentially, since Black Cat is coming back, chances are she'll owe Peter for the fact that he helped her out deal with the Maggia and Hammerhead. So there is a chance that that could play a possibility as well. Following that, it says Black Cat could be a villain in Marvel Spider-Man 2. It says in Marvel Spider-Man, Black Cat is a thief because she feels she has to be. Spider-Man consistently warns her against her chosen lifestyle and tries to steer her away from crime. The sequel could explore a storyline where Black Cat dives deeper into a life of crime and Spider-Man has no choice but to stop her. Their past romance and Peter's deep-rooted concern for Felicia's well-being would make taking her down a difficult and emotional choice. Now, it 100% would be, due to the fact that we already know for a fact that at this point, Peter has always tried to drive her away from a life of crime. So that could be very interesting to see as well. But following that, it says, although Black Cat's crime sprees are mostly harmless, she does possess the necessary skills to commit the worst crimes. If threatened or backed into a corner, she'll do whatever it is necessary to get herself out of trouble. Using her already established history from the first game, Marvel Spider-Man 2 can put her under the thumb of another supervillain or put her in a situation where she's at odds with Spider-Man, similar to how Miles Morales had to fight the Tinkerer. Spider-Man having an emotional connection to the villains that he must take down makes his decisions carry more weight. And Black Cat could also be a bigger threat to Spider-Man because she knows his secret identity. Now, I do believe that she does know. We already know for a fact that in the High story, notice how Black Cat already knows Peter is Spider-Man. So that could honestly play a good idea there, because the fact that they have already been out before and they've already had a relationship before in the past in the game. So that could play a factor as well. And we could see potentially her realizing there's something wrong with Peter, and out of nowhere, she says his name in the middle of it and starts to have emotional connection. And through that as well, another thing that can happen with Peter having the black suit is for the fact that he would be more interested in doing more crimes as well. And Black Cat would be more of a love interest for him as well. But following that, it says, alternatively, if Black Cat is pressured or influenced enough by Spider-Man, she could help him with some of his heroics in Marvel Spider-Man 2. The pair teamed up in the first game's DLC, and their skill sets complement each other well. Marvel Spider-Man 2 could include a series of side missions to complete with Black Cat, or have her help out during the main storyline, since Peter was pushing for Felicia to live an honest life. It's not a stretch that he would help her explore a hero's path. Giving Black Cat a bigger role in the next game could set her up for her own title down the line. Now, I could see that happening as well, because of the fact that if we have a series of side missions in Marvel Spider-Man 2 to where helping out Black Cat, and say Black Cat wants to help out Peter due to the fact that she owes him for helping deal with Hammerhead, I could see that potentially happening, and she would honestly owe him from the last game. Now, following that, it says, now this is the huge one right here that got me right here. This says Black Cat as a playable character. And it says, instead of having her simply help Peter, Black Cat could also feature as a playable hero in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Players are set to take control of both Miles and Peter in the sequel to Marvel Spider-Man, but Black Cat could bring a whole other dynamic to gameplay. Felicia would offer a unique player experience with a different set of abilities than either Spider-Man characters. Players may also be able to explore the criminal side of Marvel Spider-Man 2 if Black Cat is playable. Now, I 100% do agree with this. I do 100% want to see a different type of character be played, but at the same time, though, it would be very interesting if Black Cat was playable because you could play her for those side missions that she has. So I feel like that would be very, very, very good as well. In some games to where you do some side missions, say like if we do like a side mission with Black Cat or whatever, and say we finish them all, and say then after that she can be transferred over to the main story as a companion as well, so that way she could possibly help deal with Kraven or something like that, you know? But without a doubt, let me know what you guys think about these potential roles for Felicia. Let me know which one is your favorite, and without a doubt, I'll see you guys later with another spectacular, Spidey, webtastic banger.